a yarn haul video. Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is my channel Slow Crochet. This is episode 045, and today is a yarn haul video. I know, I feel like every time I do one of these, I say I'm not a big yarn haul person, but here we are again. It just so happened that there were two 60% off sales that coincided with being gifted some yarn. And so in this little haul today, I'm going to show off 3 different stores and the yarn that I chose from them. The first one is a big box store. You know it and I know it. Good old Joann's. And they had a 60% off one regular priced item coupon. So that was enough for me to head out to that store and grab a couple of things. Now I know at Joann's, if you order ahead and have it delivered to you in the car, you can get maybe 25% off your entire order. But I haven't tried that because in the past, I've done similar things with grocery stores, and I've realized that I'm actually kind of a picky shopper. So I would prefer to save that 25% and get exactly what I want, especially when there's dye lots involved and when some yarn companies change how they manufacture their yarn, and all skeins are not made equal. So I decided to just go into the store and use my coupons and see what happened, and this is what I got. What did I use my 60% off coupon on? Good old retro stripe from Red Heart. I got the jumbo stripes in the 482 yards variety, the 10-ounce skein, and I just love this. Now, my Christmas sweater that I made using retro stripes took almost all of this, and I loved working with it so much that I thought, while it's 60% off, let me go ahead and grab another, because surely there will be projects in the future where I will be able to put this to good use. It was such a joy to work with, and I'm so glad to have another one back in my stash. On the regular at Joann's, this would have been $9.50, but I got it for $3.80 with that 60% off coupon. And I think of all the things in Joann's, at least in this stage of my life, this is a really good purchase. The other yarn that I picked up there is one that I've had my eye on for a while, and I wanted to go ahead and get it just because I've been hearing little rumors about Joann's, about the company, and I'm not really sure what the future is going to hold for them. And I've never really bought any of their big twist. But one of the yarns that I've seen when I've gone to Joann's is this one particular colorway that just, for whatever reason, makes me happy. And that is the Big Twist Value in the color Rainbow Bright. So this is a 4-weight yarn. It's 100% acrylic. And to compare it to Retro Stripes by Red Heart, it is slightly different. It does have kind of a bolder orange. It has kind of a bolder pink, and the colors themselves are a little bit brighter, but it also has that black mixed in. And for whatever reason, I just couldn't get this yarn out of my mind. I had to get some. So I did get 2 of these. No idea what I'm going to use them for, but right now I'm just delighted by the colors. So these skeins have 269 yards or 3.2 ounces or 246 meters or 121 grams. It does recommend a size H or 8 or a 5mm crochet hook. It is machine washable, but it recommends laying flat to dry. They were on sale at 25% off, which is one of those things that Joann's just does. They'll give you a great coupon, but you can't stack discount on top of discount. So these on the regular were $4.49, and I got them each for $3.37. So including tax, it was about $11.50 for these 2 as well as the Red Heart. So that was my Joann's purchase. Still not a very expensive purchase, and no project in mind, but just a lot of joy there. Let's move on to the other store that lured me in with 60% off. Y'all who have been around this channel know of my favorite Nashville yarn store. Well, not exclusively yarn, but it is a yarn and craft thrift store. It is Smart Art and Crafts. It's over near the Opryland Hotel and the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville. The weekend where I went shopping, I knew that they were going to have a 40% off all of their fabric. As the weekend drew closer, I saw them start to include yarn in that 40% off. Then for whatever reason, in the middle of the night, they decided that on Saturday only, not only was all of their fabric going to be 60% off, but all of their yarn would be 60% off as well. I could not pass that up, especially knowing that a lot of the local yarn shops do put a little note at the end of their newsletters saying, hey, if you want to donate extra yarn, donate it to Smart Arts and Crafts. So, and I know from experience that they have a wonderful selection of beautiful high quality yarns, as well as some really well-priced basic yarns. Let me show you what I came away with. I had a certain kind of color story in mind. I had seen some colors in a painting when I was down at Sewanee University. This painting did not have any attributions at all that I could see, so I have tried my best. I do not know who the artist is, but these were on display at Sewanee University in their fine arts department. So these colors, that kind of soft green, that kind of lavender, those were really speaking to my heart. They were inspiring to me, and they're not colors that I typically wear. I don't wear a lot of lavender. I don't wear a lot of pale colors. I tend to gravitate towards more jewel tones and stronger, more vibrant, more saturated colors. But those were the ones that were calling out to me. So as I show you these yarns, maybe keep that in mind, because it's interesting to me that what I was attracted to in the artwork played out in what came home with me from the yarn store. But the first thing that I came home with, which I never expected I would, was Caron 1 pound. Now, these things are normally $10 or $12 on yarnspirations.com. There are 812 yards in these, but it doesn't say so on the label. So that tells me that the label, maybe it's a little bit older than expected. When I saw these, I thought, you know what? Wouldn't it be great to make like a throw afghan for my bed? And wouldn't it be great to have a nice neutral color that I could use something crazy like this against? Something wonderful like that. So I actually found 4 of these Caron 1 pounds. The color is off-white, color 514, and they come in 16 ounces. And again, it's 812 yards. It is a worsted weight. It's 100% acrylic, no dye lot. But yeah, I got 4 of these. They were regularly priced at the thrift store for $3 a piece, but I got that at 60% off. Now comes the rest of the fun stuff. For $2 regular price, I found a skein of Red Heart Super Saver Fleck in the color Aran Fleck, color 4313, which is just that beautiful kind of off-white birch tweed color. This skein has seen a little bit better days, but it's definitely clean, smells fresh, and I found that when I am at Smart Arts and Crafts, they do a really good job of keeping everything really clean in there. So again, this is a medium weight number 4, 100% acrylic. You can machine wash and dry it, and you don't want to iron it, but I wouldn't imagine I would do that anyway. I believe this one was made in the USA. It looks old enough to be so. It does recommend a 6.5 millimeter hook, a USK crochet hook, and it is 5 ounces, 141 grams, 260 yards, or 238 meters. I have a similar color to this somewhere in my stash of just kind of mystery yarns, and I know that this is going to work up really beautifully. So I'm excited to get into that. Now for the fancier fibers. I did pick up a mystery hank of $3. What I expect is a sort of, maybe it's a Noro, it's a roving style, and I would say that's probably a 4-weight, but it's got these gorgeous purples, grays, a little bit of orange in there, and as I started to dig, I could see some of that green. It is just so pretty. I haven't weighed this out. I haven't tried to figure out the yardage, but I think I'll be able to get at least an ear warmer, or I'll be able to put this with another yarn and really see those beautiful colors play out. Regular price was $3, and of course I got that for 60% off. I also found Plymouth Yarn Baby Alpaca Grande Hand Dyed Luxury Plymouth brand. This was made in Peru. Originally was priced at $20.75 in the yarn store, and at Smart it was $4. So this is 100% baby alpaca. It calls for a US 10.5 millimeter needle, and it's approximately 110 yards or 100 grams. Definitely a 5, maybe a 6 weight there, and all these beautiful kind of speckly pale colors. You're starting to see a theme with the colors. $4 regularly and 60% off of that. Super soft and wonderful. I cannot wait to work with this. Keeping on the baby alpaca theme, this was another $4, well 60% off $4 hank of yarn. It is LB Lion Brand Collection 100% baby alpaca, 146 yards, 133 meters, 1.75 ounces, and this is a 3-weight hand wash lay flat to dry product of Peru. This is the color Fawn Heather. I don't know if Lion Brand is making this anymore, and it is a nice thick 3-weight, and it is super soft. I have several little donuts of 3-weight yarns right now and some kind of fancy fibers, so I'm excited to add this to that, and maybe I'll make a project out of all of them. But I thought for less than $2 a ball, this was definitely something that could come home with me. I could put that in my stash and find a good project for it in the future. I did find 2 hanks of this. This is Inca Alpaca by Classic Elite Inca Alpaca. The yarn store price was $8. Each of these was $4, so less than $2, so less than $4 for both of them. This is another alpaca that I got. It's 100% alpaca, approximately 50 grams, 109 yards or 100 meters, and it calls for US 7 or 4.5 metric knitting needles. This was color 1176. And it is a heathery, grayish, almost like the color of lichen. When you see lichen growing on a stone, not really moss, not really fungi, but definitely that kind of greeny gray. I would call this another a 3-weight, and it is so soft and so lovely, such wonderful earth tones. I was so thankful to find 2 hanks of it, because with 2 hanks to be over 200 yards, I'll definitely be able to make something beautiful with that and more alpaca. Who would say no to more alpaca? My last 2 hanks are actually not alpaca. We are breaking with that little streak here, and we're going with 100% baby llama. This is Misky by Mirasol, and each hank here was priced at $5 a piece on the regular, so closer to less than $5 for both of them. At the yarn store or wherever they came from, these were originally $8. They are 50 grams, 75 meters or 82 yards, and they are more of a 4-weight, maybe somewhere between a 3 and a 4. But they are this heathery, mulberry purple with a beautiful kind of tawny brown mixed in. It's so lovely, these marled colors together, and it is so soft. This is the first time I've ever owned baby llama. I'm a little bit familiar with alpaca, but this is new for me. This is llama. So happy days for me. So all of these hanks and balls together and those 4 carons, for all of it, I paid about 15 bucks. Now, Smart Arts and Crafts also has all kinds of crochet hooks and knitting needles, and so I decided, in light of some of the recent crochet hooks reviews that I've seen, I decided to look for some vintage boy hooks. Crystal over at Bag-A-Day had been saying that Boy has changed the way that they create their hooks, so I decided to see if I could find any of my favorite sizes in a more vintage style. So the vintage ones have the cursive logo, and it says the size of it in letters, but it doesn't say the millimeterage. So I chose a size K hook, and I chose a size I hook. And what I love about these is they do have a slightly different shape of head than I am used to in my standard hooks. So for example, so here is the modern boy hook that I use in size I, definitely an I9, a 5.0 millimeter. And here is the size I, that's the more vintage style. And I hope that you can see this, but there is a difference in the shape of the hook. I might have to do a dedicated video just doing some close-ups on the vintage hooks versus the more modern ones. These are really hard to place in time. It's pretty hard to look back unless you work for the company and have access to all of their archived schematics and things of that nature. It's interesting to me how different brands have changed their hooks over time, have changed their shapes over time. So maybe it's not a particular brand that we're loyal to. Maybe it's just something that we specifically are used to whenever that came into our lives. So I grabbed those two, the I and the K, and I'm looking forward to working with those as well. I never thought I would be a hook collector, but it really is fascinating to see how these tools have changed over time, and I look forward to seeing how they perform in my hands. Hello, people of the present. This is Mary of the future. I had to jump in here before I finished editing the video because I did the thing. I went back to Smart Arts and Crafts because they kept showing that they had all of this great acrylic yarn, and I finally decided on the projects that I wanted to do, and I realized I needed one more Caron 1 pound. So I went over there to see if I could find it. And sure enough, I did. So now I am at a total of 5 of these off-white Caron 1 pounds. Off-white is number 514. 812 yards in this, and I have 2 different projects in mind for this, so I'm excited to have it. While I was there, I was that person. So if you saw my quick little short, I was answering a question about what would I do if I had $20 to spend just on yarn. And I mentioned I had gone to Smart Arts and Crafts, and there was some yarn that I'd seen, and they didn't want to bring it down. Well, when I was there just now, they still hadn't brought it down, but the store was not crowded. The lady I was talking to who was there volunteering was also a crocheter. And so I asked if it wouldn't be too much trouble if I could just get up there and see what's in that bin. Y'all, there were Sultan cakes. Now, I've never had these before. I've only seen them opened on unboxings. I saw one of them was the King Cole Sultan, and the one that I was looking with did not have a label, but y'all, there were 6 of these, and they were marked at $9 a piece. So the one I had originally seen was like a lime green color, and I came home with the aqua color. So this one does not have its label. I don't know if someone had donated these after they had bought them from like a mill-in sale, but on the actual cake that I did see, it did say it had over 800 yards of a 2-weight. This still has the pull tab in the center. You can see that it was marked at $9. And this is what came home with me. Now, funnily enough, there was a lady there shopping for some fabric, and she said she had not crocheted in 30 years. But as I was up on the ladder digging around, and I did say, if I need to sign a waiver before I get up on this ladder, please let me know. I'm not going to hold y'all accountable if I fall off this ladder. I mean, come on. But they were sweet. They let me up there. And I found so many of these, and this lady down there was saying she hadn't crocheted for 30 years, but as I was pulling out these cakes, one of them struck her fancy. She got so excited, and it made me smile. That to me is one of the joys of yarn shopping, especially in the South. I have the most fun talking to strangers when it comes to yarn. So all told, this Caron 1 pound was $5. This cake was $9, but I had a $5 off coupon. So really both of them for $9. Super great deal. So had to show you that, had to include this in the video. I'm actually going to take you to the past And then we'll have to bounce back to the present. Hello, people of the future. This is Mary of the past with the Hobby Lobby portion of the yarn haul or yarn accumulation. I wanted to get on here real quick and show you what I got because I want to go ahead and start working with this yarn, and I didn't want to miss out on the kind of haul feel of it. So I was encouraged to go to Hobby Lobby and pick out some yarns that I would like to receive. And maybe you've done this before where you've kind of pre-shopped for yourself because someone wants to get you a good gift, but they don't want to get you something that you really don't like. And when you go to a yarn store, it can be so overwhelming. So when my husband wants to get me a gift or he wants to encourage the children to get me something, then I will try to shop ahead of time and give them some ideas. So that's what I did, and these are the yarns that they gave me. The first thing they gave me is not a Hobby Lobby brand, it is a Lion brand yarn. It is Scarfy Light. So Scarfy Light is something that has not been around that often, and Hobby Lobby is not the only place that you can find it. You can also find it at Joann's and of course lionbrand.com, places like that. But I have never used regular Scarfy, but I liked the colorways of Scarfy Light. I've really been drawn to these kind of pastel shades recently. So this one is the colorway Tiger Lily, and if you don't know Scarfy Light, it is a pretty lightweight yarn. It's not chain spun, but it is pretty loosely spun, and it's classified as a medium weight 4, but it's very, very fuzzy. So it should be interesting working with this yarn, but I'm really looking forward to it. This is the one I really wanted to get into first. So Scarfy Light, 3.5 ounces or 100 grams. It is 349 yards or 320 meters. It's 43% acrylic, 41% polyester, 9% nylon, and 7% wool. It is a medium weight number 4, and it calls for 5mm knitting needles or a 6mm crochet hook or a J10. It says machine wash gentle, lay flat to dry. So because it's so fuzzy, I might not even want to put it in the machine. I might want to just hand wash it all the way, but I was given 2 balls of these. I always say if you're going to pick out a yarn, make sure you get 2 balls or 2 hanks because that'll really give me some flexibility in what I can do. The color again is Tiger Lily. So it has this kind of pale kind of orange mixed in there with some purple and some navy blue and some kind of actually this jungly kind of pine green or hunter jungle green mixed in with it. But everything is set off against that white fluffy background. So the colors are pretty light. But I think it's going to be really beautiful to work with, and I can't wait. It's also pretty soft, so I'm looking forward to working with that. The other yarn that they picked out for me, or that I picked out for myself and they picked up for me, they chose for me, is a Hobby Lobby I Love This Yarn print. And this is the color Violet Wisp, and it is color 833. So this is 100% acrylic. It is 5 ounces. It is 142 grams, 252 yards or 230 meters. And it calls for a US 8 or a 5mm knitting needle or a 5.5mm size I9 crochet hook. It is a medium weight number 4. This has all the symbols on it. So not entirely sure what this means, but in terms of acrylic, you can generally wash it gentle and dry gentle, and it should be all right. But what I liked about this is it is that marled type of yarn, so it has the 2 colors that are wrapped around each other. And I really love that kind of gray against the mustard color and the minty green and the lavender, and then kind of a mulberry-ish red. And I think that's all we got in there. But I thought that that was such a beautiful color combination. And again, they gave me 2. So very happy with these, and I'm really excited to work with these. I have something actually extra special in mind for this one, for at least one of these, but I can't wait to see these all worked up. I think they're going to be really lovely. So I'm going to take you back to the present now. So that is it for my yarn and hook haul. I had so much fun just talking about this with you, and I hope that you've enjoyed seeing what I grabbed as well. I am getting set to go into November, December, and just work on projects. Thank you for listening to me ramble and carry on about these yarns. I hope that you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, commented, liked, shared, all of those YouTubey things. Y'all, I have so much fun connecting with y'all in the comments section. So do let me know, have you found a difference between vintage and modern hooks? Do you have a hook preference based on something that you found recently, or is it older? Tell me about your experience with alpaca. Have you worked with alpaca? Have you worked with baby llama? What should I make with some of those things? Any ideas there? And furthermore, I want to know about your Caron 1 pound, because I have heard that Caron 1 pound is the best 1 pound value acrylic. That's what I've heard. But maybe you have a different opinion. I have worked with Lion Brown Pounds of Love, and I've worked with Red Heart Super Savers, but this is will be my first go with Caron 1 pound. So let me know, is there a 1 pound acrylic that you think is top notch above all the rest? If I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I do appreciate it, and I do hope I'll see you again soon. Bye.